Okay, so ever get that, like, inner voice just beating you up?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's the worst, right?
At worst.
But what if, and stick with me here, what if there was a way to, like, dial down that negativity, like really crank up the self-love?
I am here for it.
Me too. Well, that's what we're diving into today. We're talking all things guided meditation and how it can help us embrace, ourselves.
Love that.
And the best part is this isn't just some feel-good stuff. There's actually real science behind it.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's wild. There's a ton of research now on the very real benefits of self-love. It can seriously impact our happiness and our health even.
Totally. I think we hear a lot about self-care these days,
Right.
but self-love, that's kind of like the next level, isn't it?
It's the foundation. Self-care is important for sure. But self-love, that's about really accepting yourself. Like all of it, flaws and all. Treating yourself with the same kindness you would, someone you love.
That's such a good point. It's like we often give ourselves the hardest time.
Oh, 100%. We're our own worst critics, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does guided meditation fit into all of this? Like, how does it actually work?
So think of it this way. Guided meditation, it's like a workout for your brain, but specifically for self-love.
Okay, I like that.
It uses things like affirmations, which are basically like positive statements. You're feeding your mind these positive thoughts. Like you're literally saying to yourself, I am worthy of love, I am enough. Things like that.
Powerful stuff, right?
It is. And what you're doing is you're training your brain.
Yeah.
You're training it to believe these things. And over time, it can make a real difference in how compassionate you are to yourself.
Right, because it's so easy to get stuck in those, like, negative thought loops,
All the time.
We don't even realize we're doing it half the time.
Oh, right.
It's like our brain's on autopilot, just playing our worst critics' greatest hits.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's where visualization comes in. So a lot of guided meditations, they'll walk you through creating these mental pictures, right? Like you're picturing yourself succeeding, feeling super confident, achieving your goals.
Oh, I love that.
Right. And it can be really powerful. It helps you shift your mindset. You're moving from this place of like self-doubt to a place of self-belief.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially for people who are really visual learners, like me.
Totally.
But what about the people who are more in tune with their bodies?
Right.
Can guided meditation help with that aspect of self-love too?
Absolutely. There are like body awareness meditations that are amazing for this. One that's really popular is called a body scan.
Oh, yeah.
It guides you to pay attention to the physical sensations in your body,
Yeah.
but you're doing it without judgment, just noticing.
Okay.
And as you do this more and more, you start to really listen to your body's signals. And that can help you develop this like more loving and accepting relationship with your body, which like that's a big part of self-love, right?
Totally. So we're talking about like rewiring our brains a little, strengthening the connection with our bodies. It's all connected.
It is.
This is what I find so fascinating, though. What is actually happening in our brains during these meditations?
Well, studies have shown that when we practice self-love meditation, it can cause some really positive changes in the brain, which is amazing.
Okay. Like what?
So one thing is that there's increased activity in the prefrontal cortex.
The what?
Prefrontal cortex. It's like the command center of your brain.
Okay.
Helps with clear thinking, managing emotions, all that. And at the same time, activity actually decreases in the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that controls like our stress response.
So we're like calming the inner alarm system and giving our rational, compassionate selves a boost.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Right. And here's the best part. These changes, the more we practice, the more ingrained they become in our brains.
Yeah.
It's like you're building mental muscle memory for self-compassion.
Wow, that's amazing. It makes so much sense.
Right.
Okay, but let's be real for a second, right? Life happens. We all face challenges, setbacks, How do we navigate those inevitable bumps in the road and still like hold on to that self-love?
That's the thing. It is a journey.
Yeah.
It's not like you arrive at this destination and then you've got it figured out.
Right.
It's about, being kind to yourself, especially when things are hard.
Yeah.
And like starting small. You don't have to go from zero to like self-love guru overnight.
Right.
Even just like 5 minutes a day of meditation can make a difference. And if you catch yourself being negative, see if you could reframe those thoughts. Like instead of saying, ugh, I'm not good enough, try saying, you know what, I'm learning and I'm worthy of love and respect.
Yes, I love that. I've been trying to do that more too. Just those little shifts in how we talk to ourselves can make a world of difference.
Huge.
But you mentioned something really key there, making it a habit. Any practical tips for actually fitting this into a busy life?
Totally. It's like anything else, right?
Uh,
You've got to make time for it. Treat it like brushing your teeth, something that's like non-negotiable. Find a time that works for you. Morning, lunch break, before bed, and make it a ritual.
Okay.
And there are so many apps and resources out there now, too.
Right.
Tons of guided meditations specifically for self-love, even short ones for those days when you're like, I have 5 minutes.
Exactly. And what I find so fascinating is how this whole idea of self-love and mindfulness, it's not new. Like you see it across cultures throughout history.
Absolutely. The approaches might be different, but the need for self-compassion, that's like a universal human thing.
it is.
And I think what we've really uncovered in this deep dive is just how crucial self-love is for our overall well-being and how meditation can be such a powerful tool to cultivate it.
It really can. So as we wrap up, I want to ask you, what's one small step you can take today to incorporate a little more self-love into your life?
Ooh, good question.
Maybe try a quick guided meditation, or even just jot down 3 things you appreciate about yourself. Because remember, the journey to self-love, it starts with a single step.
So true.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and above all, be kind to yourself.
Yes.